In one offseason, the defending AFC champions traded for a premier alpha receiver in A.J. Brown, revamped their offensive line by drafting Caleb Lomu to a fully guaranteed $18.92 million rookie contract, and unlocked the final form of MVP runner-up Drake Maye. If you're a New England Patriots fan, the offensive transformation unfolding in Foxboro right now isn't a standard reload. It is an aggressive escalation. The front office looked at a roster that just reached Super Bowl LX and decided being good was no longer sufficient. They want to be unguardable. Drake Maye enters his third professional season, fresh off a 394-yard, 31-touchdown breakout campaign. He showed the entire league he possesses the arm, talent, and processing speed to carry a franchise. But late last year, specifically in the postseason, the offense stalled inside the 20-yard line. This team ranked 24th in red zone efficiency. Head coach Mike Vrabel clearly took that personally. He dedicated day one of mandatory minicamp almost entirely to red zone 11-on-11 work, drawing a firm line in the sand regarding where this team needs to improve. Maye sizzled in those confined space drills. He put on a surgical passing clinic, completing 19 of 22 attempts against a live defense. He fired rapid read touchdowns to Hunter Henry, hit Rhamondre Stevenson out of the backfield, and consistently found his newly acquired perimeter weapon. The immediate chemistry between Maye and A.J. Brown was undeniable. It culminated in the undisputed play of the day, a twisting, leaping back shoulder catch from Brown in the corner of the end zone that broke the internet. The sheer body control and catch radius Brown displayed on that single rep validated months of offseason hype. Turn on any national sports network right now, and you will hear the exact same lazy narrative pushed by talking heads. The national media wants you to believe the Philadelphia Eagles somehow fleeced New England in the A.J. Brown trade. They loudly point out that the Patriots gave up a 2028 first-round pick and a 2027 fifth-round pick to acquire a 28-year-old receiver coming off a frustrating 1,003-yard season. They are framing this as a desperate overpay by a team trying to fix its offensive woes. I've watched the tape, looked at the financial structure, and I can tell you those pundits are blind to reality. General Manager Eliot Wolf negotiated this trade beautifully by holding the line to protect New England's coveted 2027 first-round pick. Pushing the premium draft capital back to 2028 gives this franchise multiple years to maximize the championship window before the bill comes due. Furthermore, the idea that Brown is suddenly declining is absurd. This trade hands Drake Maye a coverage-dictating weapon who brings a resume featuring 34 100-yard games since 2019. You do not find that level of sustained, dominant production on the open market. This was not some reckless panic move. It was a calculated strike designed to fix the red zone spacing issues that plagued this offense last season. The move also reunites Brown with Mike Vrabel, the head coach under whom he initially thrived in Tennessee. That existing relationship ensures instant cultural alignment in the locker room. Brown knows exactly what Vrabel expects regarding practice habits and physical toughness. Meanwhile, Philadelphia absorbs a steep dead money hit, and the Patriots deploy a proven receiver highly motivated to prove his doubters wrong. Stepping away from the highlight reel catches, let's look at the tactical whiteboard. What offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels is constructing in these OTAs is a fascinating departure from last year's scheme. Local projections indicate McDaniels isn't just going to line A.J. Brown up on the boundary and hope for the best. Instead, he is preparing to use Brown in the big slot role far more frequently than the Eagles ever did. By shifting a 226-pound receiver inside, McDaniels is creating matchup nightmares for opposing linebackers and middle field safeties who simply lack the physical strength to press him. Complementing this power slot concept is the quiet evolution of Romeo Doubs. McDaniels is reportedly deploying Doubs as a true Swiss Army knife during these spring sessions. I've been watching the route distributions, and Doubs is running specific concepts from the slot and off the line of scrimmage that he never even saw during his time in Green Bay. This versatile usage mirrors the successful chess piece role Jacoby Myers used to play in this exact offensive system. Combine Brown, bullying linebackers inside with Doubs moving fluidly around the formation, and you suddenly have a passing attack defensive coordinators cannot easily predict or bracket. Of course, none of these intricate route concepts work without time in the pocket. That is exactly why the offensive line overhaul is the unsung engine of this blueprint. The transition from players like Vidarian Lowe to Will Campbell provides the necessary foundation for deep passing concepts. More importantly, first-round pick Caleb Lomu is already thriving. With veteran Morgan Moses sidelined, Lomu cemented himself as the starting right tackle at minicamp while simultaneously taking valuable left tackle snaps. His immediate competence as a premium swing tackle ensures McDaniels' complex route designs will actually have the time to develop. Every top-tier passing offense requires a punishing ground game to maintain balance, and the Patriots are building a dynamic rushing attack to support their quarterback. What I am seeing from the backfield combination of Rhamondre Stevenson and TreVeyon Henderson is going to heavily stress opposing defenses this season. Stevenson is firmly locked in to handle the grueling downhill yards after contact duties. He is the unquestioned thunder of this backfield, tasked with wearing down defensive fronts in the fourth quarter and moving the chains in short yardage situations. TreVeyon Henderson complements him perfectly as the Lightning. He operates as a big play threat, possessing the lateral agility and burst to turn a narrow crease into an explosive gain. But the coaching staff isn't just handing the ball off to these two. Both running backs are expanding their route trees this offseason. Reports from OTAs indicate Stevenson and Henderson are consistently running wheel routes out of the backfield. By forcing linebackers to carry running backs vertically down the sideline, the middle of the field naturally opens up for the revamped wide receiver core. Beyond the primary duo, keep your eyes on Larison. He is emerging as a breakout candidate right now, steadily flashing in OTAs and taking critical third down reps with the first and second units. There is real buzz he has the potential to develop into a dedicated receiving back in the system. To fully support this multifaceted downhill attack, the team is urgently exploring the market for a gritty, inline blocking tight end. Following Julian Hill's unfortunate season-ending injury, names like Tanner Ark and Eli Verdon have surfaced as potential additions to secure the edge and finalize this rushing overhaul. As much as I love the schematic upgrades, the ultimate ceiling of this football team relies heavily on the medical staff navigating a very real tightrope. Listen to the local buzz around Foxboro, and you will hear legitimate anxiety regarding rumors of A.J. Brown's degenerative knee. Observers are wondering if this underlying joint issue could be a ticking time bomb for the offense as the grueling 17-game schedule drags on. This anxiety is compounded by a daunting early schedule. Brown will immediately be tested by elite physical cornerbacks, squaring off against Devin Witherspoon in Week 1 and Joey Porter Jr. in Week 2. He will not have the luxury of easing into the season. On the defensive side of the ball, there's a short-term worry surrounding Gabe Ayes. The second-round rookie is missing minicamp due to an undisclosed surgical procedure. Missing these developmental reps is a significant setback for a young player, leaving the edge rush depth looking dangerously thin right out of the gate. With veteran edge rusher Harold Landry also nursing a lingering knee injury and being held out of contact drills, the coaching staff is relying on third and fourth stringers like Elijah Ponder for primary pass rush reps in camp. While the optics of a depleted edge room in June might cause panic on social media, you have to look at the bigger picture. Mike Vrabel is a seasoned head coach who understands the marathon of an NFL season. He is executing a deliberate veteran management plan. By intentionally resting older players and being cautious with lingering ailments during early minicamp, Vrabel ensures the roster is fully healthy and peaking in January when the games actually dictate championship trajectories. It wouldn't be an NFL offseason without the national media attempting to manufacture locker room controversy. And this month, their target is Kayshon Gonzalez. Outlets are desperately trying to frame the star cornerback's minicamp hold-in as an ominous start to the summer, suggesting this contract dispute could fracture team chemistry. I am here to tell you that narrative is ridiculous. In reality, Kayshon Gonzalez is handling his business like a consummate professional. He is physically present at mandatory minicamp, avoiding all collective bargaining fines, and fully participating in team walkthroughs and media obligations. This is the exact playbook used by virtually every star player due for a massive extension. Mike Vrabel shut down the external drama during his press conference, explicitly stating that everybody under contract is here and accounted for. The communication between the player and the front office is wide open. Local podcast hosts and beat writers are confidently predicting Gonzalez will sign a major contract extension sometime in July, comparing the negotiation timeline directly to the deal Sauce Gardner recently signed. Meanwhile, the wide receiver room is dealing with its own peripheral noise. Despite skipping voluntary OTAs earlier in the spring and facing intense trade rumors, Kayshon Boutte is taking first-team reps at minicamp. Instead of demanding a way out or causing friction, Boutte stepped in front of the microphones and publicly stated, "Boston is my life." He quickly put out the fires surrounding his name. Whether the team eventually decides to move him or not, the fact that players are showing up, taking their reps, and publicly backing the city proves this locker room is strictly business. The culture of Rebel established is locked in. While social media is understandably mesmerized by the deep balls and the flashy new connection with A.J. Brown, the real football story you need to care about is happening before the ball is even snapped. The single most critical growth factor for this team in 2026 is Drake Maye's mastery of the pre-snap operation. Both Josh McDaniels and Mike Vrabel are hyper-focused on how their young quarterback commands the line of scrimmage, and the early returns from minicamp are incredibly encouraging. Maye has been visibly varying the pace of his offensive snaps during these practice sessions. He is showing total ownership of the cadence, utilizing hard counts and dummy calls to successfully freeze veteran defenders and identify pressure packages. This elite mental leap in his second year of running McDaniels' offensive blueprint is what elevates a quarterback from a statistical standout to a true field general. He isn't just reacting to the defense anymore, he is actively manipulating it. Furthermore, Maye is executing this pre-snap command behind a vastly improved trench unit. The offensive line looks completely different, highlighted by the fact that Elijah Vera-Tucker is already increasing his minicamp participation, adding much-needed stability to the interior. This growing pre-snap comfort is backed by tremendous financial support from the front office. Offensive guard Michael Onwenu recently restructured his contract, taking a pay cut to reduce his 2026 cap charge by $7.5 million. That brilliant administrative move keeps the team flexible, ensuring the organization has given Maye a financially sound, rock-solid wall to operate behind. The national media wants to act like a 14-3 season and an AFC championship run was just a fluke. They claim the 2026 schedule was suddenly too difficult, openly predicting this roster will turn into a pumpkin after their Super Bowl LX loss. That flawed perspective ignores the reality that this front office just aggressively overhauled the entire offensive roster to ensure their franchise quarterback has everything he needs to succeed. With a defensive interior anchored by Christian Barmore and Milton Williams, a unit that held opponents to just 4.2 yards per carry last year, this team already possesses a high foundational floor. Thanks to Eliot Wolf's smart maneuvering, the Patriots still hold roughly $37.6 million to $42.5 million in available cap space. They have plenty of ammunition left to add a blocking tight end or bolster the edge depth before week 1. The narrative of a fluke is officially dead. This is a sustainable, heavyweight contender led by a rapidly transforming offense. I want to hear from you. With A.J. Brown demanding double coverage, Caleb Lomu anchoring the right side of the line, and Drake Maye looking flawless in the red zone, is this Patriots offense destined to be a top 10 unit in the league? Drop your thoughts, your predictions, and your expectations in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe to keep up to date with more football stories and events.